Hey everybody, and welcome back to Jaraci Cup number 11. We're going to begin the quarterfinals now, although this is quarterfinals C, if I remember correctly. So A and B not yet have. No, wait, no. This is B, isn't it? Yeah, if I recall correctly, the winner of this has to face the winner of A Game Eggs versus Phoenix Yo, aka A Game Eggs, because obviously he's going to win that. But first, it's between myself and Hottest Man Ever. Oh, and I've not turned my LEDs off. That's a good idea. Learn Yo alphabet. Look, it's harder than it looks, man. Anyway, I hope you guys are ready for the hottest games ever, because it's this one. Myself, Bozocow, versus Hottest Man Ever. Nice colors. Looks pretty snazzy. Sauvon versus Sauvon. So this is an interesting decision of mine. I was pretty confident in this, except actually, A-Game told me that he thought this was maybe a mistake, because the build that I'm going to go for every single time here is the LAV spam build. And apparently this is not actually as strong in the CVC mirror match as I thought it was. But it is a very nice counter, I think, to the meme strats, which we all know Hottest Man Ever is going to pull off. But he has a bit of variation planned for me as well. So, pretty interesting games that we ended up producing here. Obviously, I played these, so I know who the winner is, but I'm not going to tell you. Wreck getting opened up here. Obviously, what I'm trying to do now is I have like 5 on the main base. There's 1 RU miner, but mostly I want CUs here so that I can spam as many LAVs as I can in the opener. And predicting that Hottest Man Ever is going to move his carrier out at about like, 3 or 4 minutes after a couple gunships come out, which is what he's typically done. I want to make maybe like 10 LAVs and a support cruiser to get up on 2 bases, have a better economy than him. That's basically the idea. But he's changing things up here. Has a similar distribution, actually, right? So he's got the 2 guys on CUs here, he's got 1 on RUs there, but he's already moving his carrier. And I guess he knew I was going to do it, because he's already got AV tech started as well. So really cool play by Hottest Man Ever, I think. Breathing.txt, by the way, I did have the faction pick second, because I was the lower seed. But I banned Canyon, I figured that'd be bad, and Hottest Man Ever banned College Teeth. He was actually thinking of banning the Boneyard, and then picking College Teeth, then he changed his mind and flipped those, which I think makes a lot of sense. If he's going to do this kind of thing, he really wants a map where his carrier can just come straight at me, whereas College Teeth, you gotta go around the S. It takes a long time, so this is a better map for him. And he's building salvagers now. This is interesting. It's Hottest Man Ever. I mean, obviously, the correct play is to mine off my 3rd base, so that's what he's gonna do. I freaking love it. This guy's so much fun to watch because he does crap like this. But here are the LAVs, I'm gonna see his carrier, and I believe he said at this point, like, I hope you brought lube, and I was like, oh, I did, but not for me. But I gotta admit, I was a little bit nervous. But Power 1 started to tech for me now. He hasn't started Power 1, instead he's gonna build a couple of AAVs here. And, my idea is to beat this with the carrier and say, hey, if I can beat his economy, he's not going to have enough to hold against this. Here comes an AAV now. Out across the field. And when I saw the AAV, I was a little nervous too, because I'm thinking maybe he'll be able to stop me, but there's no AAVs back at home, right? When someone's doing something like this to you, you really need to be confident in how much they've got, right? Think to yourself, could you really have AAV tech and have one at home if he's already moving his carrier out like this? Not really, so I can just go for this. And my target is the support cruiser because if I can kill this, all these salvagers are pretty much useless. Power 1's done for me. I get 1 guy from the 2nd base, by the way, back onto the main, mining RUs instead here. But his carrier's here, so I'm not really going to be able to mine off this base anymore. Support cruiser does go down. I actually got a little nervous that I wasn't going to get killed here, but it does in the end, so that's nice for me. And he's going to start mining off my 2nd base. I'm going to say, okay, this is unacceptable. I need to go over here and try and squash this. So I've got Power 2 on the way. And after Power 2 is done, I'll probably just straight up drive on top of him and try to kill his carrier off. I will be faster than him, because the systems upgrades give you speed. That's why they're called systems now instead of power. Looks like I'm building, an SC as well, so that I can, like, leave it on the main base and move out. Yeah, good point, Cookies. I mean, like, look, if you're mining off your opponent's 2nd, you win, alright? I should have just FF'd at this point and let him, like, progress to the semifinals, because clearly I just can't compete with this level of Chadness, right? Anyway, AAV's just kind of massacring the Eco right now. That support cruiser not really going to be good for holding the base, so I'm just going to have it repair the carrier. But as you can see, the damage differential is big here, so Hottest Man Ever needs to get something done to fight against this carrier. He does have Sunder on it, which means it says it has 15 armor, but it actually has 10 when the calculation comes down. It's kind of a strange thing with that tooltip. So the AAVs could do damage to this carrier, but not very much. You can see it's pretty much at full health right now. It can't really take net damage here because of the SC. So he's going to choose to kill that instead. I think that's the right move. LAVs are still in play, by the way, but not really much they can do here, so I'm just kind of holding them lazily out on the side there. And, yeah, I basically am confident that I've got the damage output to kill his carrier here. Maybe he's not shooting my carrier right now. No, he definitely is. It's probably just the bug in the tooltip like it has been before. Another Sport Cruiser is out for me, by the way. I mean, I have the money, I might as well. I don't have much more money than that. I really like this play. He's smoking the carrier to try and stop it from being in line of sight of mine. The only problem is that, you know, he can delay the damage as long as he likes. He's not building any more damage of his own, so it's not like he's going to be able to win the fight. Not to mention, he's at a pretty big deficit already. Sport Cruiser props turn, that's nice too, but just too late. Easy game one. Easy as heck. No, I mean, I was actually quite nervous when I saw the carrier, but I played it cool. I didn't let him know in the chat, so... so game one goes to me. Let's jump into game two here. Really, really fast rush there. I mean, if you don't play properly against this kind of stuff, you will just die to it. So definitely does well to be acquainted with how you counter these types of builds. I have the next two picks. I picked Gaussian Territories and then Kartoba, and I did that because I feel like these are two maps that are very good for LAVs, and I'm gonna do the same thing again. If he, like, maybe if he wins game one of the series, I have to, like, adjust my strategy or something, but if he loses game one, which he did, I'm feeling very, very confident these are good maps for me, because I can just do the exact same thing, so I forced my opponent to do something different now instead. So we'll see what the build is. It's going to be the same for me. So you might as well watch the red player here. He's got 2 on RUs this time, drops 1 at about 10, so this is probably going to be SC first. Oh yeah, it's already on the way. Retires the base runner 2, no probe. So not a whole lot of scouting going to be available to him, but it doesn't seem like he feels he needs it. And as I said before, same build for me, there's the production upgrade on the way. Let's see what his LED timing looks like. Pretty good. He is, of course, doing this, I'd say this is correct, where you get the LEDs before you... Well, I mean... How do I say? He didn't drop a probe at all, so I guess that's kind of a moot point. But whatever, he's getting the LAVs at a good time. If you wait too long on this, you might just die to aggro, is the idea. Then again, this is blind SC first in the mirror matchup, you know. I think that the LAV build, like, what A-Game was telling me is that it's really a bit blind counter to do that. But still, it's an option, right? So you always have to be a little bit worried about it. Well, see, that's the thing, Sick. I'm saying he probably won't do it because it lost him last game. And as a result, I kind of have the leverage to say, yeah, you're going to respond to me now. But we'll see. I mean, he is mixing things up a little bit. He has a lot of on RUs this time, though. Which is curious, because he only has the 5 on the main, so he's going to fill that out now. So switching into a big RU focus here. You can see he starts banking quite a bit. And so this is probably a tell that he goes air. Well, and of course, I played these games, so I'll just tell you, yeah, he does. But this is something we'd seen him do before in his round of 16 matches and in the group stage. Getting, like, the double gunships that he can kill a bunch of salvagers. So, very interesting to see this as well. Yep, there's a fighter and gunship tech. That's going to be his answer to the fact that I'm going with this LAV aggression this time. And hey, gunship, really good against LAVs. I guess Sick IGN would tell you otherwise, but don't listen to him. He's wrong. So this is a very natural answer, I think. But there is this weak point here where he has LAV fab, but he hasn't built any, and he's made a lot of salvagers, right? This is the typical HME style here, going for a lot of greed. Here come the LAVs for me, and he may well get quite punished here because he doesn't have any defense just yet. And I assume he's going to start building it now, but... Well, no, that's a support cruiser. Oh dear. Yeah, this is going to be rough then because he doesn't have any defensive units even queued to deal with this attack here. And it looks like he's not willing to cancel that SC, so he's really got to pull the salvager, but... Uh-oh. He did get the drop on it, which is nice, but he didn't pull it away. Notice, by the way, last game I never ended up getting Assault Pack because, you know, the RUs could be spent better on the carrier power, right? This game I might consider it because it allows me to attack his second base a little bit better. But if I consider that, like, a carrier rush might still be coming later, I probably don't want to just go for Assault Pack blind because carrier power might be a better expenditure of the RUs there. Oh, and he builds another salvager. Oh, man. Now it looks like he's just going straight into gunship, so he's not going to build any LAVs to defend. This is really risky. And indeed, he's going to pay the price. This SC going down for sure. Down it goes. So he's on one base once again. Look, my SC just came out. But I've got an idea. I'm going to say, like, hey, I could, you know, jump up to 3 base a lot faster than him now. That's definitely in my right. But I think I actually have a winning play here because the Saban carrier is really powerful. I mean, he's Saban too, but he's probably not going to have money for carrier power. He needs... Excuse me. He needs to rebuild his infrastructure, right? So my idea is to just go for, like, a carrier rush of my own here. I mean, it's not really going to be a rush because it's, like, a response, but... So I have another SC queued here. Power 1 teching. And I will move out across the... Excuse me, the hiccups. The, common facet of Bozo streams, as you know. But yeah, my carrier is going to start moving out across the field in response to his. At a very, very early timing, even earlier than him for once. And I am on 2 base, he's on 1. Looks like he's getting back up onto 2 right now, though. So the eco being otherwise even, this feels really good for me. Only question is this gunship, what can it get done here? And this is what he's kind of put all of his hope into, but he's only got 1 of them this time. Because of the disruption on the main base, he had to deal with it. This is a nice diversion. I start splitting on that side, but I really need to be splitting over here. It's a little bit of time that I actually am taking too much damage, but it's not going to be a huge problem. Gunship taking a lot of damage here too, because obviously the base burner is there as well. He's going to fly it out this way, but if he docks from here, I think he might just die to the LAVs. Oh dear, he's going serpentine, man, back and forth there. That's not where he wants to be, and the LAVs are going to kill that gunship. Something mentioned in the patch notes for the next patch is that, like, the turret rotation on LAVs is going up, and as a result they'd be better able to, like, track units like that, but you can see they already do pretty well. And then I think in response, A-Game's actually reducing their damage against air by, like, 20%. Whereas it already has, like, it only does 70% of the damage modifier. Anyway, as you can see, I mean, base friend is being produced, you already saw that. The idea is to get artifacts, right? Yeah, see, I did tell you Sikai Jin was gonna say this, and you shouldn't listen to him. The problem is that he's out of ammo, and he's, you know... Yeah, this is a better demonstration of LAV versus gunship, see? This is a much better demonstration. Gets a kill for free, can get a lot more. He shouldn't dock it here. Oh dear, where's he going with this gunship? Maybe he wants to stop the extraction, but I'm not sure if he can. Maybe he wants to get eco damage instead then, seeing that the carrier's here. Because that probably was a bit of a shocking revelation. Power 2 is already done though, and Power 3 is on the way. And Hottest Man Ever not even tech number 1. I mean, he can now, but it's going to be a little late. Here we go. Gunship is going to start chewing on the LAVs like it properly does. And as you can see, that gunship does really quite a lot of damage to LAVs. Sikai Jin's on another planet at this point. Anyway, the only tricky thing for me that makes me a little bit nervous about this setup is that, like, I don't have any SCs and he does, so he's got healing and I don't. So I think the proper play here is to target his support cruisers and say, I'll be able to ramp up the power and get more damage faster than you can build them. But I'm not really sure I could recommend this as any faction other than Sawan, because most of their carriers don't do this much damage. Sawan carriers just built different, you know, so it does, like, a huge amount of damage. So I can, like, as I'm taking these carrier power upgrades, I can kind of stop him from building a critical mass of support cruisers. This is pretty awkward looking as well. This is like Phoenix Hero's ideal game, I think, right here. But yeah, I do start building support cruisers as well, because I needed to save up RUs now to get power 4. Maybe I should cancel this one, because I got the RUs for it already. Targeting Jammer deployed to stop this guy from healing, so I can kill this one a little bit faster. I'm just going to go down. That's pretty nice for me. But yeah, this Sawan carrier for me just has so much damage built in integrally. And Hottest Man Ever should really tech power 1. I mean, that'd be a very, very helpful tech here. Gunship is still in the air, or still in the hangar, so it's going to get deployed against these support cruisers. But the AA turret is here, so he really needs to dock now. He still can, but not going to get the dock off, which is unfortunate. But still, it allows him to now have like 4 support cruisers on the field to my 1, which is pretty good. One of them goes down though. Power 4 technically. Still no power 1 for Hottest Man Ever. That's really what he's missing, I think. And at 3 artifacts now, my carrier is really going to start slapping pretty hard. So yeah, he's killed off all my SCs, my carrier's taken a moderate amount of damage, but at this point I'm really going to start putting the hurt down on these support cruisers here. And no gunships left either means he really doesn't have many options to handle this. That's fine, that's fine. You're just going to spew more nonsense about, you know, support cruisers, or sorry, LAVs being counter to their counter units, so... Only joking, only joking. Nice to have you as always. Power 4 nearly done now. And you can see actually he's holding up a lot better in like support cruiser count than I expected. I thought he would probably be taking some serious losses already. Artifact scoreline 3 out of 5 by the way, but I think he can probably chase these ones down. But still, these base spinners essentially are adding HP directly to my carrier, right? Because if he's not shooting the base spinners... yeah, we'll see about that. If he's not shooting the base spinners, he's going to lose on artifacts, right? Because the scoreline's 4 out of 5, so he has to do this. And that just means he can't be shooting my carrier, which is nice for him. Oh, this space spinner is like getting away even. He really needs to power the weapons. And power 1, again, he really needed this a long time ago. He's got 700 RU as well. I could take the microwave emitter right now, that'd be pretty funny. Looks like he is going to stop the space spinner in the end, but narrowly. And he'll stop this one too, I suspect, but at this point, I mean, this Sublime carrier is fully powered, and the Sublime carrier fully powered, you don't want to freaking mess with it. This thing does a huge amount of damage, it's like insane. Yeah, look at its damage against this carrier, which by the way has several support cruisers in tow that can be healing it. Already at half. The damage output of the Swan carrier at full weapons is just like, it's unreal. At any rate, the outcome of this game should be obvious at this point. Honest Man ever gonna find themselves on the ropes 2-0. Where he will be facing match point there. Yeah, he is gonna surrender. He doesn't want to just watch it out. Definitely needed carrier power. I mean, he could have teched it, but I still think just for the early game damage, he was behind enough that I can do his strategy against him basically. So always got to be watching out for that early game aggro. I can really set you behind. And obviously this is a bit of a meme game because he's going with these very interesting carrier rush strategies, but like this applies even to the top tier as well. But we jump on to game 3 now on Kartoba, and this is this is series point for him, so he's really got to try hard to get back into this. But what's the answer going to be? What can he do that he hasn't done already? You know, hottest man ever. He's not gonna back down from this, all right? He's too much of a man for that. Very respectable kind of guy. So he's not just gonna play like. He's not just gonna play, you know, some stupid like meta build or something ridiculous like that. So instead, looks like his plan here is again gonna be to go SC first. Obviously, you can see he retired that base spinner, so still no probe. Yeah, there's the SC. It's gonna be some kind of a rush, right? But the gunship didn't really work for him. He took too much damage to LAVs, so I think maybe he's thinking just go at him as fast as possible. In a similar vein to what he did in game 1. Although, as you saw, that didn't work either, but it was closer. I'm feeling really confident at this point, though. Because from my perspective, I've beaten... Oh, what? Oh, yeah, okay, I caught that. I had these guys saturated wrong. From my perspective, Oh, wait, no, I remember this now. Yeah, if you just send the guy immediately over here, he can't drop the thing because you don't have any CUs. I was actually, like, just mining a little bit of extra RU before I went over. Just a little development of the play. But anyway, in my perspective, I'm feeling really, really comfortable here because I beat his preferred strategy in game 1 and his adaptation in game 2 in pretty, oh, what's the word I'm looking for? Decisive ways, there we go. And so, I feel like he's going to be kind of scrambling as to what to do in this next game. And indeed, it's going to be AV Fab instead of just going straight for the carrier power and moving out. I don't actually really agree with this because he tried that in game 1, and it seemed like a good idea to answer the LAVs, but then it turned out to not really do much for him, so I feel like this is probably a mistake. We shall see, though. We do have the LAVs coming out of the carrier now, obviously with the idea to attack the support cruiser on the main base. One thing I've noticed about Hottest Man Ever, he really likes powering up the ALMs. You saw this even in games against like Marchwadden and stuff, right? So Maybe that's why he's not teching carrier powers. He doesn't really want the carrier to actually do any damage. Perhaps this enhances the quality of the meme, you know, if you manage to win without even putting any power in your weapons. Just like by sheer force of healing from the sport cruisers. But, yeah, as a result, I don't know, it feels like he's kind of fighting a losing battle against someone who will just tech some carrier power instead. This is probably too many LAVs, actually, I gotta say. Because how many are we at already? This is gonna be 12 of them when those two come out. He's doing that really fast carrier move out again. So perhaps what I was thinking at the time was that, like, he's not really gonna go for that because it didn't work for him. But I'm not gonna see his carrier until it's, like, right here. I have an SC on the way now, so that's kinda convenient for me. But I really am gonna need carrier power at this point. In come the LAVs, I don't see him there, I don't see him there, so I know the bit now. So I should really tech power 1. He has AVs in the hood, so he'll probably be able to disrupt the eco, so I'm not going to have that many opportunities to mine RUs anymore. So these guys should be tasked to RUs immediately. We'll see if I end up doing that. In the meantime, though, this SC is going to go down. Uh-oh, a little bit late on these guys. How many is it? 175, right, to get systems 2? I need to get that much RU or else I'll never get that tech. In fact, the support cruiser maybe looks like a bit of a mistake, but I don't know. I can power up the weapons and the armor and then just drive up and attack his carry again. And once again, I am slightly faster than him because I got the tech that he didn't. Support cruiser goes down on this side. I will chase down all the salvagers as well, so they're gonna go down. Honest Metaverse starting to mine off the second base. Typical Chad move. This is what you should always do, ladies and gentlemen. If you're not mining off your opponent's second base, you don't really know what you're doing. Which is why I'm clearly lost in this series as well. This is awkward though, see, can this guy get a drop off? Oh, he chased the SC that ran away from, oh, that still wouldn't have been enough to get systems too, but still, it's a bit unfortunate. And this is really too many LEDs, it kind of clogs up the population cap as well, so I can't build any support cruisers just now, so I dropped down another logistics module to that end. But that means I can only make one, I don't have any money for the next one. But still, you can see Hottest Man Ever already at like half health. And we do have power 1 teching for Hottest Man Ever finally. That's the only power level that I'm at too, mind you. And with Sunder on the carrier, he should actually be doing relevant damage with the AVs. So this might actually, for the first time, be a situation that he could win. Because I'm trying to, like, if we're at equal power here and he has the AVs, I think he's actually just winning. But he chooses to surrender here, so not going to see that out. I guess I do have the support cruiser, so I've got more healing, and I did obviously have a really big lead on the HP bar, so he chooses to just surrender there and take. That means that I take the game 3-0. And hello, Houston. So I'll be advancing to the semifinals, where I'll probably get killed by a game as usual, but we'll have to see. But it was, of course, the hottest series ever, so I think that's pretty cool. And I just want to mention, like, the reason I picked Saban into this is because I knew he was Saban already, and he was going to go for these strats, but I'm wondering how well this shapes up against Coalition, because the Coalition carrier at lower power, I think, is definitely more strong than the Saban carrier. But at higher power, it's definitely a lot weaker, so I'm not sure who wins that. But at any point in this matchup, it seemed rather obvious to just mirror him, you know, just go Saban when he goes Saban. And yeah, I feel like this is a pretty good demonstration of how to beat the meme strads as well, so I hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's move on to the next one.